Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie are two massive names in Hollywood, so imagine our excitement about them working on another film together, Babylon. There are many surprises that await us in the movie, including an unscripted kiss between the two actors, which made it to the final cut. In this video, we'll talk about Brad Pitt setting the record straight about the kiss, and Margot Robbie sharing details about the crazy, wild party scene in Babylon. First and foremost, Brad weighs in on whether Margot really did sneak in the kiss. We can't really blame Robbie for grabbing her chance to kiss the Academy Award-winning star. Who'd willingly shy away from this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? The Hollywood actor made headlines for opening up on his lip-locking scene with his co-star when E.T.'s Kevin Frazier interviewed him at the premiere of the film in Los Angeles on Thursday night, 15th December. When asked about the 32-year-old taking a little bit of creative liberty to plant a sneaky smooch on him, he set the record straight. "No, not necessarily," Pitt said. "There's always room for character interpretation." According to the Fight Club actor, it was less Margot Robbie sneaking a kiss and more a situation of an actor having a crystal clear understanding of her role and making a decision that felt the most appropriate for the character and the scene. Pitt also joked that the kiss shared by the two actors was the tamest thing that Barbie actress does in the film. According to the Seven actor, Margot is on fire in the movie and is the best he's ever seen her. Considering Robbie's exceptional performance in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and I, Tonya, this is high praise coming from Brad, which will surely make fans more excited to see her performance. Next up, Robbie's insight on the kiss. According to E! News, the Bird of Prey actress revealed that her smooch with her co-star was not part of the script and was improvised at the last moment. "But I thought, when else am I going to have the chance to kiss Brad Pitt? I am just going to go for it," Margot said. Robbie joked that the film's director Damien Chazelle called her out for taking creative liberties, and he joked about her actually wanting to kiss the actor. It did end up getting an okay from him in the end, and it made the final cut. Not to mention, Margot calls working with Brad Pitt brilliant. Speaking to E.T. earlier this month, Margot called starring opposite Brad a brilliant experience. She shared that it was technically the third film they'd appeared in, but this was the first time they'd shared the screen and act together. This was a wonderful gift for her, since Brad was such a treat to work with. Watching him, one of the most celebrated stars in Hollywood, play a big movie sensation in the film was inherently fun. The co-stars were both in 2015's The Big Short, and were also in Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in 2019, which made Brad win a Best Supporting Actor Oscar. About the big film, Pitt said it made him proud to be a storyteller. He said there's some good drama in the movie, and it makes him proud to be a part of this lineage of getting to contribute to storytelling in his little form, and all the people who have come before us, and all that'll come after, he added. Coming up next, what's the hype around Babylon? Director Damien Chazelle's upcoming old Hollywood epic Babylon will transport the audience back to the Hollywood heyday of the 1920s. The movie explains how depravity, decadence, and outrageous excess lead to the rise and fall of several ambitious dreamers during that era. It tells the story of the transition from silent to talking films and when Los Angeles began to shape itself into the capital of entertainment. In Babylon, Margot plays Nellie Leroy, an unpredictable up-and-coming starlet seeking fame, while Brad stars as Jack Conrad, one of the most popular movie stars in the world. Along with those two, the movie will also star the likes of newcomer Diego Calva, Samara Weaving, Gene Smart, Flea, Eric Roberts, Tobey Maguire, P.J. Byrne, and Spike Jonze. We hardly knew anything about the movie for quite some time until Vanity Fair released the first look photos and the wild and trailer dropped online for the film. While the Suicide Squad's actress scene with Pitt did make the cut, Margot has said in the past that she wasn't sure if her kissing scene with Catherine Waterston would make it into the film's release. We suppose we'll just have to wait and see, and also witness how on fire Robbie was during production and if it translated on screen. If the trailer indicates what we can expect, we're surely in for a treat. Let's look at Margot's thoughts about the movie. About her role in the movie, Margot says she loved playing characters who have very extreme reactions to things, just like Nellie. Leroy's the type of character who'll come back with fire, even if you come at her with a bit of heat. The Terminal actress added that Nellie was a fun and exhausting character to play at the same time. The trick was to keep up the energy levels all the way through, because after some months of being on the same level and knowing that you still have huge sequences to go, that's when she had to push herself. She had to remind herself not to slack, and not give an inch less than what she gave on day one of the shoot. The Babylon co-star explained that her character is just one player in the time period of Hollywood that the movie showcases as an extravagant, lavish world of excess and unbridled creative energy. About the Hollywood excess found in the film, Margot added that you don't have to look that far to find these stories. You get a glimpse of just how crazy and reckless people were, and how many of them young at that time. About the scene in which Brad's character dared her to fight a snake, which was filmed with both real rattlesnakes, Robbie recalled with a smile that it was absurd and the co-stars were literally out there in the desert, and it was so Babylon. Lastly, what do the critics say about Babylon? The Hollywood period movie will be available in theaters on December 23rd. The early reactions to the movie have been somewhat mixed, with Margot Robbie's performance being applauded by many. The trailer shows off the wild side of the golden era of cinema, and as a result, it's proven pretty divisive with critics who've seen it already. Damien Chazelle's Babylon is a dazzling, dizzying cacophony of demented depravity, one wrote. A rebellious, outrageous portrait of golden-era hedonistic Hollywood, while another added that the movie was a flaming hot mess, easily Damien Chazelle's worst film. So yeah, the movie is definitely not everyone's cup of tea. Now, moving on to Margot Robbie shares details of wild party scene. Starting off with Margot on the mad scene in Babylon. The Australian actress is all set to star in a long-awaited flick Babylon, a glitzy epic that centers on the debauchery of the early days of Hollywood. She'll play alongside Brad Pitt, who she starred alongside in Quentin Tarantino's 2019 film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Among the critics, one person who was taken aback by the movie was Carey Mulligan. In an actors-on-actors conversation for Variety, he sat down with a Bird of Prey star who opened up about the wild scene in Damien Chazelle's new film Babylon. Carey called the opening sequence this enormously debauched, crazy, wild party featuring lots of people wearing very little to nothing. The famous actress spoke candidly about the vividly, highly sexualized content fans will be seeing in Babylon and shared some new details about filming the scenes. She said the scene was pretty much party slash and it kind of turned into an to which Mulligan suggested the portmanteau porgy to describe the scene. Robbie went on to say that when she read the script, she thought this was like La Dolce Vita and Wolf of Wall Street had a baby, and she loved it. But she was like, would they even be allowed to show that? Turns out they were. Now on to how Robbie was surprised they were allowed to show the full-on scene. Margot revealed that there were so many scenes scattered in the movie about which she thought, how would she even do it, and how would they be allowed to get away with it? While discussing the titillating scenes, she expressed shock that she was permitted to push the boundaries of content. She described the party scenes and the impressive number of dancers who helped create the energy needed for the wild party scenes. In fact, the film's ostentatious opening party scene took 2 whole weeks to shoot, and the cast felt every minute of it. Robbie said that it was like going to a party that was crazy but for 2 weeks. It was the longest blender any of them had ever been on, sober. When asked if she would see the film with her mother, Robbie joked that everyone should see Babylon with their parents. It won't be awkward at all. Finishing off, Robbie reveals she was mortified to see her leaked pictures with Ryan Gosling. Margot will soon star as Barbie and Greta Gerwig's live-action take on the beloved toy. The movie's first trailer was released on December 16th, revealing the first look at Robbie in character. She told Jimmy Fallon how mortified she was about her leaked pictures with Ryan. Even though the actors looked like they were having fun and laughing, they were dying on the inside. In fact, it was the most humiliating moment of her life. When Jimmy asked if she anticipated the images would go viral, Margot said she didn't. She knew she had shot some exteriors in LA, which meant she'd get social media coverage. There was going to be a little crowd of people that were going to stand out because of their outfits, but she did not expect the photos to leak out. It was crazy, with hundreds of people watching. That's a wrap for now. What are your favorite movies of Brad Pitt and Margot Robbie? Let us know in the comments down below, and make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel for all the latest news related to the showbiz industry. Until next time.